Hey y'all. Now you must have noticed that I haven't been very active on socials lately. Part of the reason is I'm kind of disillusionized with the doll community at the moment. Right now I feel like there's a palpable shift within the community that I'm going to be talking about in this video, wherein a lot of things that bring me joy in terms of collecting haven't really been fun lately. And one of the signifiers of this was the release of the beautiful stuffy-faced Barbie deluxe style redhead. A lot of people call her the midge of the bunch, and she's a rare find variant of the Millie blonde deluxe style doll. And currently everyone's been raving about this doll, and when she first popped up I was very excited about her, as we all were, and it was a really nice release because you can see that this doll, out of all the deluxe style dolls that have come out, is the only one that does not have a pixelated face. She's a very cute doll with a cute face, cute outfit, even though the outfit is basically identical to the one that Millie is wearing, though the earrings are different as well as the necklace, but I digress. Now, I feel like this release has kind of brought out the worst amongst some of the doll fans in the community, and I'm going to be telling you why I think that is the case. Now, when it comes to doll collecting, well, it's a hobby that is very heavy on the consumption part of it all. It's very heavy on consuming things, buying things, looking forward to buying things, searching for them, going on a hunt. And that's something that I'm not able to deny. It is what it is. It's a consumption hobby, and therefore it's probably very natural to see that a release like this could somehow kind of twist this whole hobby in a way that isn't really all that fun. I think it was very clever of Mattel to do what they did with this release, to have this rare find variant, to put out a doll that is very sought after and that is making people go on a treasure hunt to find some gold, to have people feel FOMO if they're not able to get the doll and therefore go on a hunt from Target to Target, wasting all of the gas money to find that doll with an MSRP of $19.99, which is kind of ludicrous to think about. And this was an opportunity taken by a lot of people to say, hey, you know what, if I find this doll, I might have the possibility to put one online and make a quick buck off this doll and kind of get back all of the gas money that I spent on hunting this doll, but also maybe make some coin by the side. I mean, this is the economy we're at. A lot of grifters, a lot of opportunists who might not even be all that big into dolls, seeing that there's an opportunity for them to make money because people are clamoring for getting this doll as quickly as possible. Because there's this whole attitude that we're all sort of like this whole locust swarm who's hyping up one release and just heavily posting them on social media, heavily posting them on their socials like Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, etc. But that kind of only takes a couple of days, and then everyone's sort of like well fed and saturated and do not really care about that release. So the locust swarm moves on to the next big and very hot thing right now. But there's this window of time that if you're not able to get this doll within this time frame, she's going to be an old hat, she's going to be old news, nobody's going to be caring about you posting that doll that had been released a couple of weeks ago on your socials when the locust swarm has already moved on to the next hot thing. People being so conditioned to this type of behavior is something that puts me off, and also the fact that literally everyone is posting about this doll on socials is also putting me off, because it's not very exciting in the end when that's all you see, that's all you hear, and that's all everyone is talking about, because Yes, I'm the contrarian type who, when everyone likes one thing, they're moving into the other direction. But it's this monoculture of nothing else, and I think there should be more variety, but maybe that's just the point we're at right now, which is another thing why I'm not really active on socials, because there's not a lot of new things that currently excite me. Because if you go into toy shops and see the toy shelves and doll shelves, and all of the Playline releases right now are just super boring, none of them excite me, so therefore I'm not also engaging with people who would like to discuss about those releases. And I'm not really shaming anyone. I mean, at the end of the day, who am I to shame for people indulging in their gluttony, their gluttonous behavior, and wanting as many of this doll as possible? But when you see people like say, hey, I found her and I found a couple of more and I got them all, you're like, why? Do you want more? Do you want to maybe customize a couple and be very creative with them? Did you get them for your friends? Which is very legitimate, because I'm also like asking friends, hey, are you gonna get this doll? If you're gonna get one, are you gonna get another one from me as well? So that's very legitimate, but there's no real reason to be posting about this. I think what also kind of aggravates me about this release is how a lot of non-Barbie collectors who might not even really be all that into Barbie the brand, or might not even know that this Steffi face is so special and goes back to the 70s when she was first conceived. And I feel like there are a ton of bandwagon jumpers who are now into this thing because it is the hot new thing and something that you're able to take the opportunity and scalp this release, because there's such a high demand for this release and not a lot of people are finding it. So naturally, a lot of non-doll collectors, a lot of maybe collectors who are more focused on brands such as Monster High or Bratz, are going to jump on this bandwagon and get this doll and then put them up on eBay. And the thing is, no one in the doll community has any room to be complaining about people scalping dolls when at the end of the day, you are willing to pay the scalped prices. When you go on eBay, it's not just the listings that are now up. You just have to search for the listings that ended up getting sold, and you see a ton of dolls that were sold way beyond the MSRP of $19.99, way above $100, even up to $175, which is just crazy to think about. Because let's be honest here, this is just a standard Playline release by Mattel in 2025, with the same issues of poor quality control, poor overall quality, questionable design choices. It is a cute doll, admittedly. I would definitely grab one because it's a very cute base doll, but still, it's not like this is magically a release that would be worth a couple of $100. It's like this mind game that the brand is playing with people to make them want this, even though it would never be worth the money. People see stuff on TikTok, social media, and automatically there's a demand created, and it's not an intrinsic type of demand. It's one that is being forced from forces coming from outside the house. So the calls are not coming from inside the house here. And I feel like I'm not the only person who sees it like it is this way. Like, I was surfing around this Barbie subreddit and I saw a lot of people having a similar opinion as I have. So I'm going to be reading a couple of those comments that I saw there. Stuff like this is why I'm losing interest in collecting. Scalpers everywhere. FOMO because people will buy so many of the same doll. Prices getting higher and quality getting lower. It just feels more stressful and upsetting than enjoyable and fun at this point. This is why people get paid the big bucks for marketing. Creating a demand is the name of the money game. Looks like Mattel did it again. They've created a demand for people to buy more than they need. And once it hits, it bottoms out, and there you are with all of your extra dolls. This poor doll has brought out the worst in people. It's one thing to do this quietly, but a whole other level to get online bragging about getting more than one, expecting praise and upvotes. Never thought I'd be proud to say I only took one, because I believe in sharing, but maybe a little girl out there will actually get one someday soon. In the meantime, I'm taking a break from all online Barbie communities. I don't recognize most of the people coming into this Barbie subreddit posting about this doll. They don't seem to be regular members of this Barbie community. So as you can see, it's not necessarily just me thinking that this type of release is kind of diminishing the fun people have within the doll community. And like I had said, even though consuming dolls and buying dolls and being hyped for new releases is very much integral to the hobby, it made me sort of like detach myself from socials who are surrounded by dolls and doll communities. And it's not like I'm not gonna be ending this hobby, I was just dusting off my shelves, so this is why I did not sell off those dolls. So it's not like boo-hoo, fed up with this hobby. No, not at all. Actually, I'm very much still 100% into this hobby, and something that currently is bringing me sort of joy is buying those new Xian dolls from AliExpress, and also a lot of AliExpress fashions, and I think they're really exciting. And again, buying, it's a whole nother Pandora's box about consuming stuff again. And you can see one of the Xian dolls that I bought from AliExpress and a fashion that I bought from there as well. And the channel that sort of like sparked this was Elastic Planet 21. You should check it out, because another thing is that I'm kind of over a lot of content on DollTube. YouTube is not giving lately, and it's not just the doll tubers who are kind of like just boring me in a way. It's just YouTube as a whole is very much turning into the snake that is eating its own tail, because there's not a lot of interesting content on YouTube. And it's the same with DollTube, where I feel like there's not a lot of interesting content there, even though a lot of people are very talented, but they are also very much within the grips of the algorithms, so therefore they force themselves to put out content, even though it's probably not the most exhilarating to produce that type of content when you're more or less just doing it for the deadline and not doing it because you're creatively inspired to do so, which is also part of the reason why I haven't been really posting continuously, even though the last bunch of videos that I did post were really blowing up. So it's like I'm allergic to success or something, where if I had been like, okay, you know what, I'm going to strike the iron while it's hot, it would have made my channel become even bigger than it is right now, even though it is not really that big. But yeah, it would have been an opportunity that I could have taken, but I consciously did not, because I did not feel inspired to do so, and I do not want to post content for the sake of posting content. So yeah, that's what I have to say about why I've taken a step back from socials at the moment. And now this is the first video of 2025 that I'm posting right now. And yeah, now, is there a way out of this whole thing? I don't know. I think we're going in circles. We saw the whole discussion about the very same topic go on when it was during the whole Mean Girls drop fiasco on the Bratz brand. And people were complaining about scalpers and saying that you should not pay scalper prices and you are part of the problem. And that's very much true, because right now I'm like, I don't really feel that negative towards scalpers. I'm like, if you end up spending the price that they want from you, you are the problem. You are part of the problem. You are basically the reason they exist, and it's not the other way around. Of course, they're opportunistic and want to take this opportunity, but you have the power to make them disappear. And if you do not realize that and do not act in that way, act with your own purse, you have no room to complain about them. So I don't really see that being the problem. Of course, they're shitty as f, and I would never condone such behavior, and I think such behavior is just asinine. But they're like cockroaches, and they will only disappear if you make them disappear. As long as you won't do that, they will continue their ways. And that's basically the summary of this whole problem. So I would like to hear from you about this whole situation. Are you going to get this doll? Are you excited about this doll and you want this doll? Or are you like, okay, this whole thing about it is a game that I'm not willing to play, so I'm just like, I'm good? Are you going to wait for this doll to be abundant? Because I kind of feel like this doll is going to be released in edition size that is much higher than people are expecting. I think Bill Greening talked about this chase variant that was sort of like demanded by a lot of fans within the Barbie community. And he was also sort of like talking a little about the edition sizes, but it wasn't really clear, and he also didn't really know that much. But I kind of have a feeling that if you just wait, this is one of those releases where everyone who truly wants this doll, and not because of FOMO, because of reasons that are outside of wanting this doll for your collection, is going to get one. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you thought this video was trash, leave a dislike. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And I might be seeing you in my next video. So, bye for now.